2 years ago, when my family and I arrived in northern Illinois, your search committee asked me to help this congregation with two things. One was to help us into a sustainable financial future. The other one was to bring the community together. And this was right about time in the conversation when the Mission Impossible theme kicked on. I'm kidding, but only in part, right? To be honest, though, these are really common challenges that are facing organizations all over today. I was interviewing all over the country, and every other church was looking to solve exactly the same problems. What drew me to UUSG was an unusual combination of things: the quality of the staff, the long history of the church, the things that our people do, and the sheer charm of our place. This was a church with possibility, with hope, with energy and curiosity, and not to say bad things about our sister congregations, but that is an unusual combination. You all made this place an amazing experience for me and my family. And 2 years in, I love being here. Now, to be perfectly transparent, our church does have a plan for financial stability, and we're 2 years into that plan, and success is taking a lot of time, effort, and creativity. But I believe we are on track. And with the patience and perseverance of our members and friends, I'm feeling really positive about our financial future. I hope you're going to forgive me when I return to this in future Sundays, though. What may be interesting to me, is that the future of our church, at least as they're tied to finances and community building, they're not really separate. They have a common root, if you will, and that root just happens to be our theme for the month. This year, at the request of many and sundry, UUSG will be following the Soul Matters curriculum. Anybody heard of that? If you haven't heard of it, just know that it means this: UUSG will be charting a common course throughout the church year alongside UU churches all over the world. Common readings, common music, common ideas. Of course, we'll be doing it better than all of them. That's just how we roll. Anyway, this month's theme is belonging, and this is Homecoming Sunday, so talking about belonging just seems perfect. Which brings me to the pandemic. If any of you have had the opportunity to relocate to some distressingly cute community somewhere out there in the world, please take my advice and do not arrange to do that in the middle of a pandemic. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I can't stress enough how much more complicated my mission has been because of the pandemic. In fact, that one fact has made building community radically harder than addressing finances, and that's saying something. Here we are after a couple of years of COVID and social distancing and masking and the utterly baffling refusal of half of our community to do the very least they can do. It's left most of us, I think, tired, and quite many of us completely exhausted. I know a lot of you, a lot of us, are just ready to be moving on with our lives. Anybody here feeling, say, yeah, me too. But the damage that the pandemic has really done, I believe, is to rob us of what it means to be together, to be a community. We have forgotten, maybe. We're out of practice, probably. And if that's just me, well, so be it. But I'm guessing it's not. So, your staff and I have decided that challenge accepted. We're going to make this whole year about community. To me, community and belonging are really the same kind of thing. They're certainly linked. A community is what happens maybe after belonging, or perhaps during it, whatever the point. It is really hard to have one without the other. And belonging, that's hard It's really hard. Author and researcher Brené Brown, one of my personal heroes, has made a career out of this problem. And as she has explained, belonging is not the same as fitting in. You've heard this, I hope by now. You've heard me say it. But getting along to go along, going along to get along, that's the one. Going along to get along, that's not a path to health. If we put civility over authenticity, we're in trouble. Ignoring or shrinking so that we can stay in some place. And no, I'm not just talking about high school. Wherever you are, if you are not able to be yourself, your full, whole, authentic self, maybe even your weird self, you don't ever really belong. You don't feel belonging. And that, my friends, is god-awful. You know that I am all about the science. So here's a fun fact. A recent MIT study found that we crave interactions with other people in the same region in our brains where we crave food. And another study showed that we experience social exclusion in the same region of our brain where we experience physical pain. You could say, and many have, that we are literally wired for connection. We need connection. The trick, according to Dr. Brown, is that it is not enough to just sign up and show up. That's fitting in. No, human beings need more, and that more comes only if and when we are able to be us, our thing, our own self, our own identity, our own complex, with our own history, our own scars, our own likes and dislikes, all of that, out loud and proud. And doing that, being open, being out there, well, even the thought of that can be scary. So here's the admonition. Do it anyway, says Dr. Brown. Do it anyway. There is some advice. The first thing that we're told is we need to embrace groups. And if you're an introvert like me, this is hard. Do it anyway. Find the people. Hopefully your people, but if we're splitting hairs, it's the people part of that equation that's the important part. And yes, this is true even if you are an introvert. You know who I'm talking to. Next, you need to be you. Now, this is not an invitation to be a jerk. This is a fine line for some of us. But what we find is that when we make space for other people, those other people will make space for us. So if being yourself is kind of scary, know that it's very straightforward how you can allow yourself to be out there, be real. And it's by being real for others. It's kind of weird that way, but it's cool. By making space and having space made for us, we know that we've found our people. Now, here's the wrinkle. We need to let people know that we're trustworthy. And how do you do this? How do you let somebody know you're trustworthy? Well, according to Dr. Brown, it's universal. It's also relatively simple, which is lucky because it's all downhill at this point, folks. What do we have to do? Well, we have to be curious. Asking questions. That's really the key. We listen to what's been shared with us after the questions have been asked, and we don't just pause, wait for that pause so that we can shove our story into that gap. But if we do that, all those three things, find a group, be us, and be curious about others, that's really the formula, the magic formula. And is any of that easy? Hell no. But here's the secret. You've already done the hard part. You found us. We are, as a group, a far cry from perfect. I'm pretty sure that we have a whole theology around imperfection. But we are different. And best of all, you can look around, best of all, we're already here. Not to be too sneaky about it, but this is part of why we've set up our new Sunday schedule with education, then worship, then social hour. It seemed like a really good idea, a really great way for us to practice being together, to create opportunity for connection. And you are invited to be part of any or all of it. Now, our plan over the years is to have more picnics and potlucks after the service, to offer more classes, create more groups, play more games, watch more movies in our sanctuary, just spend more time, create more opportunity to be together, to be social, to be friends. And I do hope you'll join us. And that brings me to my last point, the invitation. Dr. Elias Ortega, the president of Meadville Lombard Theological School and the author of the UUA Commission on Institutional Change report entitled Widening the Circle of Concern, it's a big deal, he had this to say about invitation, quote, "I have heard welcome described as a disposition of openness towards others. But an invitation requires more. Being invited, more than welcome, is a process in which opportunities for spiritual growth are offered that take place through engagement and service to the larger community." Okay. So here we go. This is the fun part. Opportunities for connection and spiritual growth. As you know, our church is blessed with a great many teams. Groups that are doing great work that you are invited to do with us. Every month, we'll have sign-ups where you can volunteer your time alongside your fellow congregants. And as Jean kind of covered a little bit earlier, we have really great work that we're doing with the Northern Illinois Food Bank, the Aurora Soup Kitchen, and the Lazarus House, and a whole lot more. We are doing critical work here in the Fox River Valley, critical work that needs your helping hands. So if you are looking for connection and also for a way to give back, to make a profound difference in your own life and the lives of your neighbors, there is something that we can do together. It doesn't really require long-term commitments, nothing dangerous, not even a whole lot of cash, nothing like that, just good, needed work. And we do need your help. So check those out. But that's not all. Our Green Sanctuary team works on environmental issues here at the church and in our larger world. This past summer, UUSG signed a fossil fuel non-proliferation treaty, and we did that at the request and guidance of that team. Climate change might be huge and scary and overwhelming, but it is the challenge of our time. You are invited to start the journey to sustainability here with us. But that's not all. Our DEI team works on issues of justice here at our church and also in our wider world also. If you have not checked out their work, please do so. You can find an entire bookcase stuffed with great material in our library. And this year, we're going to be talking a lot more about pride and engagement with our local LGBTQ community. If you have passion around these issues, this group wants to hear from you. But that's not all. Our social justice team works on all kinds of issues, including my personal #1 concern today, that is fascism, the ongoing challenge to democracy itself. In our order of service today, there's an announcement Jean put in there about our October Democracy Party, and more information will be coming out about that. That is incredibly important. I hope you do check that out too. I don't know if she's online or in person. Diane, are you here? She's online? We're gonna point at the screen. Hi, Diane, we're hoping to see you. Okay, Diane heads up the emergency response team. So if you've noticed our defib machine in the common room, that's the emergency response team, right? This year, we're gonna be offering some CPR classes.
Yes, I'm here.
This is one of those basic, incredibly important life-saving skills that everyone really ought to have. That team is also looking for volunteers. Please consider it. And thank you, Diane, wherever you happen to be.
I'm right
But
here.
that's not all. Gail, where are you? Hi, Gail. Can you stand up a second? Deb, are you around too? Yay. All right. Everyone, these two intrepid souls lead our welcoming team. This is the team that shepherds newcomers from our church doorway to church membership. And they plan and run all of our new to UU classes. They're our ambassadors. And guess what? They'd love to have your help. Thank you so much. But that's not all. Jamie, where'd you get to? Are you back there, Jamie? Yes, I'm looking for you.
Full screen.
She's probably back in the back hiding. Jamie leads the hospitality team. This is the team that arranges for snacks and keeps me caffeinated.
Okay,
I did. Just wave. Hi. If you know me at all, you'll know that caffeine is very important to me. Seriously, Jamie is the best, and we really do give thanks for her gifts. If you want to be part of the coalition of the willing, let us know. Our church experience will be made better by your helping hands. So you know what I'm going to say, right? Say it with me. That's not all. Hey, Jeff Steibel, can we get a wide shot of the chancel? And if you're able to do that, I want you to come out. Anybody else back there? Come here. My friends, this is the team. This is the team. Yeah, here they are. This is the team that makes Sunday happen, right? And look and sound as great as we do. Obviously, they have a challenge to work with. So I appreciate their efforts. These are the ones that carried us for the last 2 years. So without them, we could not have done any of that. And we are also looking for people to build that team. And then there's the facilities team. This team took on the task of revitalizing our common room this summer and the sanctuary last summer. And if you've seen the common room so far, hopefully you've had a chance to see it. It's amazing. That's right. What we now get to enjoy is the product of hundreds of hours of volunteer time. So I really appreciate your help embarrassing those people right now. So please forgive me if I overlook anyone, but if you're on Zoom, maybe we could bring them back in and they can raise their hands. But if you're here, please rise or signal as I call your name. Jan Miller, Tom Lichtenheld, Dave Hansen, Becky Ruby, Sean Ruby, Christina Mielski, Lisa Rittenberry, Braden Rittenberry, Pat McLean, Dave Duckworth, Larry Escalona, Roger Galantine, Dave Tamel, Carol Myers, Linda O'Neill, Kevin O'Neill, and Jeff Steibel. Yeah. Folks, I'm blown away by the amount and the quality of the work this team has generated. It's amazing. This building's 180 years old, and it looks brand new. It's amazing. So thank you. Thank you to all of them. This morning, we've already heard about all the great things the RE team is doing, and there are way more teams. We've got heritage and finance and stewardship, the choir within our walls, and a couple different book clubs, meditation groups, the writer clubs, and more. Together, these activities are all the warp and the weft of our community, and all of them, every single one of them, are the direct result of the hearts and hands of our membership and friends, and the soon-to-be friends sitting around you this morning and joining us online. And today, I, your friendly neighborhood minister, Reverend Scott, I am inviting you, and you, and you. I'm inviting all of you to step up to step in and to engage, to take that next step here with us, your community. Because for us, belonging is not an idea, it's an action. Belonging is a thing we get to do. It's something we can enjoy here within our virtual walls, and it is also something we get to take with us out into our larger world. So in the name of this august institution, in the spirit of our collective aspirations and our common future, in the light of community and connection and practical goodness, you are invited. You are invited today, right now, to explore, to join, to belong. You are invited because this is your church. This community is your community. This place is your home. And today is homecoming. Be welcome. It's so good to have you back. Amen.